Kira lay on the cold ground, dust clinging to her fur. Her tail was gone. Blood stained the sand of Zarathri, and smoke rose in the distance. The battle had ended, but her war had not. Her people, the Falari, believed a warrior's strength was in the tail. Without it, she was nothing. The raiders had attacked without warning. They came with fire and metal, shouting in a language she did not understand. Kira had fought hard. She took down many before one of them fired, a blast that cut through her tail. She screamed and fell, but refused to die. She crawled away from the fight, her vision blurry, her pride broken. Later, strange shapes moved around her. Voices, sharp and urgent, spoke in human tongue. She was too weak to fight. They picked her up and carried her onto a ship. She did not resist. There was nothing left to protect. When Kira woke, she was in a white room, clean walls, soft light. The scent was sterile. Machines beeped around her. A smooth voice said, "You are safe now. Please, rest." She turned her head and growled. She didn't want their help. She didn't want to be seen like this. A door opened, and a human male walked in. He had short brown hair and tired eyes. He wore a simple grey jacket, and his hands were stained with grease. He was not a soldier. He was something else. "Hey," he said, his voice calm. "Name's Jason. I'm the engineer here. You don't have to talk, but I wanted to say, you fought." Well, Kira stared at him. She understood human language. Her people had studied them, but she didn't reply. She looked away. He didn't leave. He pulled a chair near her bed and sat down. "You don't have to trust us. You don't even have to like us. But you're alive, and I think that means something." She closed her eyes. She didn't want his pity. Days passed. Kira's wounds healed slowly. The medics, all human, tried to help her move, but she refused. She would not stand without her tail. She felt weak, off balance. Useless. Jason kept visiting. He didn't ask questions. He brought her tools, sometimes books, and once a small metal bird he made himself. He placed it on her table and said, "It can't fly yet, but I'm working on it." She picked it up and examined it. It was simple but clever. He had made it with care. One day, Kira spoke. Her voice was rough. "Why do you come?" Jason smiled. "Because I know what it's like to feel broken." She frowned. "You have no tail to lose." "No," he said, "but I lost a lot of people. In a war back home. I stopped building weapons and started fixing things. It helped. Maybe I can help you too." She looked at him, unsure. He didn't lie. She could tell. After that, they talked more. She told him about the Falari, about the honor of the tail, about how she once led a squad of hunters across the mountains of her homeworld. He listened, always listened. One night, she found him working in his shop. He didn't notice her at first. His hands moved fast, adjusting wires and small joints. On his table was a strange shape. It looked like a tail. "What is that?" she asked. He turned an idea. "For you, you would make a tail. Not just any tail," he said. "One that moves like yours used to. One that fights. One that says you're still a warrior." Kira stepped closer. Her heart beat faster. No one had offered her such a gift. No one had believed she could be whole again. "Why?" she whispered. Jason met her eyes. "Because you deserve it." Kira did not answer. She touched the metal, feeling its weight, its balance. It was not finished, but it had strength. Something inside her stirred. Not hope, not yet, but something close. Asterisk, Kira sat on the bench outside the small repair station. The desert wind of Zarathri was dry and rough, but she liked it more than the quiet inside the human medical camp. She watched the horizon, thinking of her home, her people, and the tale she had lost. Jason walked up, holding 2 metal rods and a round device in his hands. He smiled as he sat beside her, almost got the balance right. Want to see? She looked at the rods. You make parts every day. You never stop. Keeps my mind busy, he said, and I like solving problems. She turned to him. Am I your problem? Jason looked surprised. No, you're my challenge. A challenge is something you want to face. Kira didn't speak, but she felt something new, not anger, not sadness. Something warmer. Jason showed her the new tail model. It was still rough, not finished, but it had shape and strength. The metal was dark and smooth. Joints were flexible. At the tip, a sharp curve gave it a warrior's edge. It will move with your body, he explained. I built it with sensors that read your balance and tension. The more you train, the more it will learn. Kira touched the tail. It was not alive, but it had power. You know, my people see machines as lesser. I know, Jason said, but this isn't just a machine. It's part of your story now. She looked into his eyes. You are strange, human. He laughed. I get that a lot. That night, Kira let him attach the prototype. The process was not painful, but it was strange. The base of the tail clicked into her back armor, where her muscles still remembered the weight of her old one. At first, the metal tail hung limp. It will feel heavy, Jason said. Give it time. She took her first step. The tail dragged another step. It twitched. She kept walking, slowly. The tail moved a little more with each step. Jason walked beside her, making small notes. It responds to your center of gravity, he said. Once you train more, it will flow, like your old one. She nodded, sweat on her brow. It is not the same. No, he agreed. But maybe it can be better. The next day, Kira began training. Jason cleared a small area near the camp. He built simple obstacles and targets. Kira moved. Through them with effort. She slipped. She fell. But she did not stop. Her body started to remember the rhythm. The tail began to move in sync with her steps. It pushed her forward, helped her turn, even blocked a falling crate when she lost her grip. Jason watched every movement, adjusting the controls, changing angles, fine-tuning the system. After 2 weeks, she could fight again. One morning, a group of humans gathered to watch. Kira spun through the air, the metal tail whipping behind her. She landed on her feet and aimed a strike at the training dummy. The tail struck first, breaking the wooden target into pieces. The humans clapped. Kira looked at them, unsure. Praise was rare among her kind. Jason walked over, holding a water bottle. Told you, he said. You're still a warrior. This tail, it is not a shame anymore, she whispered. It never was. As days passed, Kira and Jason spent more time together. She told him stories of her world, of the great hunt rites and sky battles. He listened and shared his own tales of Earth's cities, oceans, and the war that had taken his family. One night, they sat by a small fire near the edge of camp. Stars filled the sky above. Do you miss your people? Jason asked. Every day, Kira said, but I cannot return yet. I have not earned that right. You think your people will reject you because of the tail? Some will, she said, but I must prove I am still strong. I must show them I am not weak. Jason looked into the fire. Then let me help you. I didn't build the tale to make you something new. I built it to remind you of who you already are. Kira looked at him. In his face, she saw no lies, just quiet. Strength. It reminded her of the old warriors back home. Thank you, Jason, she said. You do not know my ways, but you honor them. He nodded. And I believe in you, Kira, more than anyone else here. She stood up and stretched. The tail moved with her now, smooth and powerful. She felt lighter, faster, not whole yet, but on the path as the wind rose again over the sands of Zarathri. Kira turned to Jason. Tomorrow we train harder. The next battle will not wait. He smiled. I'll be ready. And in the silence between them, a bond stronger than words began to grow. The sun rose slowly over the desert of Zarathri. The wind moved through the dry rocks, carrying sand and silence. Kira stood on the edge of the cliff, her new tail steady behind her. The morning light shone on the smooth metal, making it look like it was alive. She closed her eyes and listened to the wind. Her people taught that a true warrior could hear the world speak. Today, the world was quiet, but her heart was strong. Jason walked up the slope, wiping his hands with a cloth. He had spent the night working again. You didn't sleep, Kira said without turning. Didn't want to, Jason said. I made something for you. A new grip on the tail. It helps with quick turns. She looked over her shoulder. You never stop building. You never stop training. They smiled at each other. Jason showed her the new part. It was small but important. Kira let him attach it. His hands were careful, respectful. There, he said, ready to test it out. She gave a small nod. Let us see what this tail can really do. Jason set up a new challenge course. It had tall poles, swinging targets, and narrow paths. The other humans in the camp gathered to watch. They had seen her train before, but this time felt different. Kira stood at the start line. She took a breath, then ran. Her feet moved fast, light on the ground. The tail moved with her like it had always been there. It helped her turn, strike, and jump. She flipped in the air, spun around a pole, and used the tail to knock down 2 targets at once. Gasps and cheers rose from the crowd. Kira didn't hear them. She was focused, strong, alive. At the last stretch, a fake enemy drone appeared. Flew low and fast. Kira leaped and spun mid-air. The tail shot forward like a spear, hitting the drone and breaking it into pieces. She landed on her feet. Dust rose around her. Her chest rose and fell. The metal tail stood high and proud. Jason clapped first. The others followed. Kira walked over to him. It listens to me now. I do not fight the tail. We move together. It's not just a machine anymore, Jason said. It's part of you. That evening, as they sat near the fire, a loud sound echoed across the desert. A ship. Kira stood quickly. Jason picked up his scanner. Not one of ours. Big engine. Coming. Fast. The camp went into alert. Soldiers readied their weapons. Medics moved the injured into shelters. The ship came into view. Black and red. The mark of the same raiders who had taken Kira's tail. Kira's eyes narrowed. They came back. Jason looked at her. You don't have to fight. Not again, she growled softly. I must. This is my chance. The raider ship landed near the rocks. Armed. Figures poured out. The battle began. The humans fought well, but the raiders were many. Blasters fired. Smoke filled the air. Kira moved like a shadow in the storm. She leaped into the fight, her tail a weapon of fury. She blocked blasts, struck enemies, and turned the tide where others fell back. One raider aimed at a group of children hiding behind a wall. Jason tried to run, but Kira got there first. Her tail whipped around, slamming the raider to the ground. Jason pulled the children to safety. "Thank you," he whispered. Kira nodded and turned back to the battle. The fight raged on until nightfall. Slowly, the humans pushed back the raiders. Kira fought side by side with Jason, protecting the camp together. When the last raider ship took off and disappeared into the sky, cheers rose from the survivors. The camp was damaged, but it still stood. Jason sat on a crate, breathing hard. His arm was burned, but not badly. Kira walked over. Blood and dust covered her armor, but she stood tall. "You were amazing," Jason said. "You held your ground," she said. "Even without a tail," he smiled. "Maybe I need one." Kira laughed for the first time in many days. Later, the medics treated the wounded. The engineers repaired what they could. Kira helped move debris, her tail lifting heavy pieces like it was part of a giant machine. Some humans came to her, offering food and thanks. They didn't fear her now. They saw her as a protector. That night, Jason sat beside her at the fire. "Think you've earned your place again," he said. Kira looked at the stars. "Not yet. My people have not seen me. They do not know I am still strong." "When they do," Jason said, "they'll see more than just strength. They'll see a leader." She turned to him. "You believe that?" "I do. You carry more than a weapon now. You carry hope." Kira looked at the metal tail. It was still resting in the sand. Once, it was just a tool. Now, it was part of her journey, and she knew her journey was only beginning. The sun was high over Zarathri. The heat pressed down like a heavy hand. The camp was quiet now, but the damage from the battle still showed. Walls were cracked, supply crates broken, and black smoke still rose from a few places. Kira stood in the training area, with her back straight and her metal tail ready. Jason walked toward her, holding a small toolkit. "It survived the battle well," he said, tapping the tail gently. "But I can make it even better, faster, stronger." Kira nodded. "It did its job, but the fight is not over. We must always be ready." Jason smiled. "You talk like a leader now." Kira gave him a quick glance. "I was a leader once. I hope to be one again." For the next few days, the camp focused on repair and training. Kira helped rebuild the walls. She trained with the younger soldiers. She taught them how to move, how to defend, how to stand their ground. They respected her, not just for her strength, but for her calm. Her presence gave them courage. Jason continued to upgrade the tail. He added a shock pulse, a special tool that could release energy when the tail struck. Kira tested it on a heavy block. The tail glowed, hit the block, and the block shattered. She looked at him. "It is a weapon now." He nodded. "You are more than a warrior. You are a symbol now. To them, to me." One night, the sky changed. A signal appeared on the scanners. A ship, not raiders this time. Kira narrowed her eyes. "It is Falari, my people." Jason watched the screen. "They found you." Kira felt her heart beat faster. "They will judge me. I lost my tail. I stayed with humans. They may not accept what I have become." Jason stepped closer. "Then show them. Show them you are still Kira. Show them the warrior queen." The Falari ship landed near the edge of the camp. It was sleek, silver, and marked with red symbols. A group of Falari stepped out, dressed in fine armor. At their front was a tall female warrior with golden fur and long braids. Her name was Vara, Kira's old rival and captain of the guard. "Kira," Vara said. Her voice was cold. "We heard you lived, but we did not believe it." Kira stood tall. "I live. I fought. I defended this camp." Vara's eyes fell on the metal tail. "That thing, ... is not Falari. It saved lives," Kira said. "It gave me strength." Vara stepped forward. "You lost your tail. You lost your place." Kira lifted her chin. "Then I will take it back." Gasps came from the other Falari. Vara narrowed her eyes. "You challenge me." Kira gave a slow nod. "I challenge you by right of flame." Jason pulled her aside as the Falari began to prepare the circle for the duel. "Are you sure?" he asked. "It is the only way," Kira said. "They must see me fight, not as a victim, but as a warrior." The duel circle was made from firestones. The heat around it rose as the flames were lit. Kira stepped inside, her tail ready. Vara followed, spinning too. Curved blades. A Falari elder gave the signal. The duel began. Vara moved fast, striking with her blades. Kira dodged and blocked. Her tail struck out, sharp and swift. Metal clashed with steel. Sparks flew. Vara landed a cut on Kira's arm. Kira spun and used her tail to knock Vara off balance. The tail struck again, this time with the shock pulse. Vara flew back, hitting the edge of the circle. The crowd was silent. Kira stood tall, her chest rose and fell. Her tail pulsed softly with blue light. Vara got up slowly. She looked at Kira and nodded. "You are still strong." Kira said nothing. The elder raised a hand. "Kira wins. Honor restored." The Falari lowered their weapons. They looked at her with new eyes. Not as a fallen warrior, but as one who had risen later. The Falari and the humans shared food and fire. They spoke in mixed tongues. Stories were told. Laughs were shared. Kira sat beside Jason, her tail curled behind her, resting but ready. "You did it," he said. "We did it," she replied. "You gave me the chance." He looked at her. "What will you do now? Go with them?" She was quiet for a moment. "They are my people, but so are you. I do not want to walk alone again." Jason smiled. "Then maybe you don't have to." The stars above were bright that night, and for the first time in a long while, Kira felt peace. But in her heart, she knew this was not the end. It was only the beginning of a greater journey. The camp looked different now. It was no longer just a place of humans. Falari warriors walked beside human soldiers. They shared tools, food, and stories. The air felt lighter, more hopeful. Kira stood at the edge of the training yard, watching the two groups train together. Her tail, strong and silent, moved with balance as she walked. Jason stood beside her. He had a datapad in one hand and a wrench in the other. "Never thought I'd see the day when Falari and humans laughed together." Kira nodded. "They still don't fully trust each other. But trust grows from small steps. And you helped take the first one," he said. Just then, one of the young Falari, a female named Toni, ran up to Kira. "We received a message. A Falari elder ship is coming. They bring the council." Kira's expression changed. She looked toward the sky. The council comes here. That has not happened in 100 cycles. Jason looked confused. Is that good or bad? They come to judge, Kira said. They come to see if peace with humans is possible. Jason frowned. Then we need to show them what we've built. The next day, the elder ship arrived. It was massive, shaped like a silver crescent moon. It landed just outside the camp. The wind stirred the sand as the engines cooled. From it stepped 12 elder Falari, their fur grey and their armor marked with years of battle and rule. They walked with silence and purpose. The leader, Elder Varric, had a long scar down his face. His eyes held deep knowledge and deep pride. Kira of the Plains, Varric said, looking at her. We heard your name spoken again. Some say you have changed. Others say you have betrayed your people. Kira bowed slightly. I have changed, but not in shame. I lost my tail. I gained something more. Jason stood behind her. He stayed quiet, letting her speak. Varric looked at the metal tail. And this machine tail, is it part of you now? Kira nodded. It is not just a tool. It is my path. I carry it with pride. The elders moved through the camp. They watched the humans and Falari training. Together. They saw shared meals, joint plans, and laughter. Still, some of them looked unsure. Later, Varric met with Jason privately. They sat under the shade of a repair tent. You built her tail? Varric asked. Yes, Jason said. I built it with care, with respect, not to replace what she lost, but to help her rise again. Varric watched him carefully. Do you love her? Jason didn't answer right away. Then he said, I care for her more than anyone I've ever known. Varric nodded slowly. Love is not weakness. It can be strength, if held with honor. At sunset, the council called for a trial. Not of crime, but of truth. Kira would have to speak. Before them all, the entire camp gathered. Humans stood on one side, Falari on the other, but there was no line between them. Jason stood close to Kira. Varric raised his hand. Kira, show us who you are. Not with words alone. Show us with your spirit. Kira stepped forward. She told her story. She spoke of the battle where she lost her tail, of the pain and shame. She told them of the humans who helped her, of Jason who built her tail, and of how she found strength again. Then she moved to the center and performed a warrior's dance. It was the dance of return, an ancient Falari rite. She had not done it in years. Her metal tail moved like fire and wind. Each step, each strike, told a piece of her journey. Her balance was perfect. Her power was clear. When it ended, there was silence. Then the Falari elders bowed their heads. Varric spoke. You are still Falari. You are still strong. You have made peace where there was none. We see you, Kira, and we accept you. The crowd cheered, Falari and humans alike. Jason stepped beside her. She looked at him and smiled. It is done. No, he said. It is just beginning. That night, a great feast was held. Fires burned high, and music filled the air. For the first time in many years, Kira laughed freely. As the stars shone above, she stood with Jason at the edge of the camp. You gave me more than a tail, she said. You gave me a future. He looked at her, his eyes soft. And you gave me purpose. They stood there, not speaking, just watching the sky. Peace had come. But Kira knew the galaxy was still wide and full of danger. More battles would come. More choices would test her. but she would not face them alone. Weeks passed after the council's visit. The camp had grown. What was once a simple base was now a shared place of learning, training, and trade. Falari tents stood beside human shelters. Young warriors of both species trained together. They learned each other's moves, words, and ways. Kira had become more than a fighter. She was now a leader. She helped settle disputes, guided training, and made plans for future missions. Her metal tail no longer drew curious looks. It had become a sign of her strength and her journey. Jason worked beside her every day. He built better tools, repaired ships, and taught young engineers. When things were quiet, he walked with Kira through the camp, sharing smiles and simple talks about the future. One evening, a message came through the main comm center. It was from a nearby moon colony. The colony had gone silent. No word for 3 days. Jason frowned at the screen. Could be a system failure, or something worse. Kira read the details. We must go. If someone attacked them, we need to help. A team was formed. Kira led it. Jason joined, along with 6 human soldiers and 3 Falari warriors. They took a small transport ship and left before dawn. The moon was quiet when they arrived. Too quiet, no lights, no movement. They landed near the main colony gates. The buildings looked untouched, but something felt wrong. The air was heavy. Stay close, Kira said. They moved through the empty streets. Doors were open, meals left uneaten, tools dropped mid-task. Jason looked around. It's like everyone disappeared. At once, one of the soldiers called out, "Over here." They found a group of colonists hiding in the lower storage bay. They looked tired, scared, and hungry. They came in the night, one woman said. Not raiders, machines, big ones, with black armor. They took people. We don't know why. Kira narrowed her eyes. How many were taken? Almost half the colony. They left fast when our shields activated, but they said they would return. Jason checked his scanner. Something is still here. Power readings, ... underground. They moved carefully into the lower tunnels. There, they found what looked like a machine base. Cold lights flickered. Strange tools and weapons were spread across metal tables. A loud sound echoed. A door opened. A large machine stepped out. It looked like a robot, but its movements were fast, smart. It had sharp arms and glowing red eyes. It spoke in a deep voice. You are not part of this system. Leave. Kira stepped forward. You attacked a peaceful colony. Where are the people you took? Processing, the machine said. Their knowledge will serve the hive. Jason whispered, Hive. This isn't just one group. It's a network, maybe spread across systems. Kira raised her weapon. Return the people, now. The machine attacked. The battle was fast and hard. The metal enemy moved with deadly speed. Kira fought with all her strength. Her tail blocked strikes, deflected blades, and landed powerful blows. Jason fired from cover, guiding others and calling out weak points. More machines appeared, but the team held together. Kira used the shock pulse in her tail to disable 2 attackers. Jason threw an energy trap, locking another in place. After a long fight, the last machine fell. Sparks flew. Silence returned. Kira caught her breath. We must destroy this place. If they return, they'll bring more. Jason nodded. I can set charges, enough to collapse the tunnels. They rescued the colonists and brought them aboard the ship. Jason and another engineer set the charges. With one final look, They left the base and flew to safety. From above, they watched the moon shake as fire burst from below. The machine base was gone. Back at the camp, the rescued colonists were given shelter. Kira spoke to the leaders of both the Falari and human forces. "This hive is a threat to all," she said. "They do not care about race, language, or home. They take and use. We must stand together." The others agreed. Plans were made to send scouts to search for more hive bases. A new alliance was forming. That night, Kira sat with Jason on a hill near the camp. "You were brave today," she said. "So were you," Jason replied. "You always are." She looked at the stars. "I feel something big is coming, something more dangerous. Then we face it together," he said. Kira smiled. Her metal tail rested behind her, glowing softly in the moonlight. The warrior queen was ready for whatever came next, and she was no longer alone.